Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha. Namaste everyone. In today's session, we are going to review the Nama Kameswara Prema Ratna Mani Prathipana Stani. The entire line is one Nama and must be pronounced in full. So far, in the region of the neck, that's called Kamaraja Kootam, Vasinyadi Devatas have described the following namas. The very auspicious Mangala Sutra that's always in Sri Lalitambika's neck. That's the first nama in this Kamaraja Kootam. The nama is Kamesha Padda Mangalya Sutra Shobhita Kantara. Then from the neck here to at the top of the arms and here in the arms there were very beautiful ornaments adorned called as Angadam and Keyuram. That nama was Kanakangada Keyura Gamaniya Bhujanvitha. And in the last session we reviewed very beautiful ornaments that are necklaces that were worn by Sri Lalitambika. It had three parts. It's called Ratna Graiveya, which was very close to the neck, that had a very beautiful pendant, which is called Chintaka, and then that pendant had pearls called Mukta in that. So Ratna Graiveya Chintaka Lola Mukta Balanvita. Palanvita. So we worshipped all these namas. Now in this session, we will worship the next nama in Sri Kamaraja Kootam. The nama is Kameswara Prema Ratna Mani Prathipana Sthani. Let's first look at the components in this nama. Kameswara. Kameswara is Lord Kameswara. Prema. Prema means affection, the love of Lord Kameswara. How is it? It's like Ratna Mani. It's like a very precious gemstone. Prathi Panam. Prathi Panam means reciprocate. So in order to reciprocate Lord Kameswara's love, what did the goddess do? Stani. Stani means that the Sthanya Bhagam, which is the two divine breasts. Goddess gives her two breasts in exchange for that love that Sri Kameswara gave to her. Sthanyams are also called as Vakshoruhams. So the Nama conveys that in order to get the most precious Prema Ratna of Lord Kameswara, Goddess reciprocates his love by giving two of her very divine Sthanyams. So in this Nama, there are very specifically, Lord is called as Kameshwara. In Sri Lalita Sahasranama, we can throughout observe that the divine couple, Parvati Parameshwara, is worshipped as Sri Kameshwara and Sri Kameshwari. Lord is Sri Kameshwara and Goddess is worshipped as Sri Kameshwari. That's why the Nama starts as Kameshwara. Now let's first review the literal meaning of this Nama. Lord Kameshwara loves Goddess very, very, very much. So what he does is he wants to give something very special to her. So what he does is he accumulates all his prema into a precious prema ratnam, Kameshwara Prema Ratna Mani. So he accumulates all of his prema and he wants to give that ratnam, one ratnam, to goddess, and that one ratnam is his prema, his love. Okay, so Lord, so just like say in a wedding anniversary, a husband would give a gift to his wife. Here, Lord Kameshwara makes a very precious gift with his prema itself and offers it to the goddess. Hence, the Nama is the embodiment of Shringara Rasa here. Love is very special. Lord's love is the greatest treasure that ever is. So he gives that prema, that treasure, that affection itself as the gift to the goddess. That's the first part of the Nama here, where Lord Kameshwara's prema is like a Ratna Mani, which is very, very precious. Now let's review the second part of the Nama, which is Prathipana Stani. If Lord's love is like that of a precious Ratnam, then God has want to definitely get that. See, if we like something, we will do anything, pay any price to possess it. Like that, God has wants Lord's prema so much that she is getting that prema Ratnam by reciprocating twice of that affection. if we like something to get, we wouldn't mind what is there. What we will do, we will somehow want to possess it, whether we have to give more, whether we have to do more. Nothing matters before that task of getting that very special thing that we want. So that's exactly the bhava that goddess is exhibiting here. Since Lord has given his prema itself as Ratna, now goddess wants to reciprocate it in a very special way. So she has to offer something very special in Prathi Panam. Prathi Panam means in exchange of. So in exchange of getting that prema, now goddess is going to give something very special. So what she does is she is going to give her Sthanyam, her divine breast itself, as the reciprocation to Lord Kameswara. Now she see this is the first literal interpretation of this nama. Now here she Lalitambika is Mahapathivratha. So what she is doing is, even though Lord gave her only one Prema Ratna, Kameswara Prema Ratna, he has given one Prema Ratna, but goddess is Mahapathivratha. So she's offering more than what Lord gave her. So she is doubling her affection by giving out two Sthanyas of her in exchange. In exchange, in the sense like Prathi Panam. That's what this Prathi Panam means. And Stani means Sthanam, Sthanya Bharam, Sthanya Bhagam, which is the two divine breasts. So she is giving twice of her breasts to the love that she received from Lord Kameshwara. This is why we say that um, when we worship the goddess, she always is Karuna Murti. So we say Palamadika Vancha Samadikam. If we ask one thing, goddess will reciprocate it with more karuna, with more blessings, and she'll give twice the blessings to us. That is her nature. That's what this Nama very beautifully portrays that. Lord gave just one Ratna, but Ambal is Mahapativrata, hence offering more than Lord only brings out the greatness of Sheila, Lalitambika's Pathivrathyam. And the Upasana Palan of this Nama is that just like the Adi Dampatis, the Parvati Parameshwara, the husband and wife reciting this Nama, Kameshwara Prema Ratna Mani Prathi Panastini, will also get Paraspara Anyonyam. That means the mutual understanding and intimacy between the couple will be greatly enhanced by reciting this Nama in Sri Lalita Sahasranama. That's the Upasana Palan. Now, let's go and see an iconic illustration of this Nama, Kameshwara Prema Ratna Mani Pradhipanastini. And then, based on that, we will review the Tattvartham also. What is the intended meaning that is conveyed here? So, the iconic illustration of this Nama is in the temple called Sri Ekambareshwara Temple in Kanchipuram. Eka Ambaram means one mango tree. Under that one mango tree, what happened was goddess was doing tapas, and for doing the tapas, she had a Shivalinga, where the Shivalinga was made out of sand. It's a Prithvi Linga. That entire sthalam is a Prithvi Sthanam. So it's a Prithvi Lingam, which means it is made out of sand in the earth. Even today, we can go and worship this lingam. So it's a sand lingam here. And the Shivalinga, so God wanted to test her affection. So what he did was he made Ganga river flow. And goddess is now wondering, oh, what will happen if this huge Ganga river flows? I want my Lord safely. So what she does is, in order to protect that sand lingam, Shivalinga, she goes around the linga. She very tightly embraces Lord Parameshwara here. So that's the iconic illustration. So what the Lord wanted to do was to give his affection. Okay, so Kameshwara Prema Ratna Mani, and for that, what did Sri Lalitambika given back? She gave her as Prathipana, she gave her Stanya Bharam. So if you can see, the goddess is, tightly embracing her Parameshwara. At that time, her two Sthanyas, the Vakshoruhas, the divine breasts, are tightly embracing Lord Parameshwara. So that's an iconic illustration of this Nama, Kameswara Prema Ratna Mani Prathi. Now, this is a visual external representation, but there is a tattvartham behind that. The intended meaning is that Lord Kameshwara gave his affection in terms of wanting to create the entire universe. So that is the whole concept. The universe has to be created. The precious Prema Ratnam of Lord Kameshwara is the primordial sound Pranavam. In order to create the universe, where did everything come from? It came from the Pranavam. So when it says Kameshwara Prema Ratnam Mani Prathi Pana, the word Pana, the term Pana is for denoting Pranavam. That's the intended artha here. Pana here refers to Pranavam. And so Lord wanted to give Pranavam. By means of Pranavam, he wanted to create the universe. That is his Prema Ratnam. That is the most precious thing that Lord gave to Goddess. Now, Goddess is the only one that is capable of receiving that Prema. And so goddess receives that icha, which is very secretive since it is pranava upadesam. And what goddess does is she holds it very close to her heart. She holds that Prema Ratna Mani, that Pranava Upadesam, very close to her heart. That's what is indicated as her Sthanyams. So, what she does is now she has received this Prema Ratna, the Pranavam, from Parameshwara, and now Goddess will make the universe manifest from this Pranava. So, her two Sthanyas or the Vakshoruhas are representative of two bijas that are related to this, and those are the two Sthanyas that are being mentioned here as Prathi Panam. For that Pranavam, that each of her divine breasts represents a bijam, and she gives that in turn in order to reciprocate this love. Now, what happens? The Ekam, Parameshwara, was all by himself, and Goddess was within Parameshwara. Now, that Ekam has now become two because of the grace of Goddess, so that we all can be revived from out of this samsara. So, that is the intended tattvartham of this Nama. Now, Acharya in Soundarya Lahari has very beautiful meanings for what this Nama implies. So, in Sloka 34, Acharya says, शरीरं त्वं शम्भोः शशिमिहिरवक्षोरुहयुगं तवात्मानं मन्ये भगवति नवात्मानमनघम् अतशेषशेषीत्ययम् उभयसाधारणतया स्थितसम्बन्धोऽवं समरसपरानन्दपरयो. So in this shloka, we will take just the first line to understand this Nama. In that, Acharya says, Shariram Tvam Shambho. Shambho, you are. Amba, you are the Shariram of Lord. We know that, right? Parameshwara and Parameshwari are one and the same. Shiva Shakti Aikya Swarupini is Sri Lalitambika. So, Shariram Tvam Shambho. In this Shariram, what do you have? This is the key part here. Shashi Mihira Vakshoruhayagam. Vakshoruhayagam are the two divine breasts. The two divine breasts are Shashi, which is the moon, Mihira, which is the sun. Ambal has the sun and the moon as her divine breast. So Acharya here describes Ambal as a Vishwajanani. So goddess as the sun and moon as her Vakshoruhams, as her divine breast. So the divine breast has milk. Who has Stanyams with milk to nurture the baby? Only a mother has it. So here, as the divine mother, as the Vishwajanani, Acharya says, humans, plants, vegetables, fruits, animals, birds, fishes, every single being that you can think of in this universe needs the grace of sun's rays and the cooling effect of the moon in order to survive, in order to grow. So what is this divine Sthanyam? The divine breast, or the nurturing place for the entire universe, is what Acharya conveys through Soundarya Lahari here by saying Shashi Mihira Vakshoruhayagam. Shashi and Mihira are the two Sthanyas of you, because you are Vishwajanani. Just like plants need sun's rays for photosynthesis, even mantras, the very great and special mantras like Gayatri, also get their energy from sun's rays. So, a lot of tattvarthas are being conveyed by these two Sthanyas that are being described here. So, Sri Lalitambika's divine breasts are the Poshaka Sthanam. That Poshaka means the nurturing place. Nurturing place of what? Is it just for one person? If we are a mother, we only nurture our own kids. But Sri Lalitambika is Vishwa Janani. So her Poshaka Sthanam, namely the Vakshoruhas, are the nurturing place of the entire universe. And hence Acharya brings before our eyes Ambal to be as a Vishwa Janani. That's the first interpretation. So we must recollect that this is not just a physical form like ours, but and it is also not a Stri Varnane. This is the Upasana of a Vishwa Janani who nurtures through her divine breast the entire universe by having the sun and the moon. So Acharya portrays very beautifully. He brings out the beauty of the Vishwajanani of Jaganmata and portrays the motherhood, the matrutvam of the Divine Mother, and that is the bhavam in which we need to understand this nama. In another shloka, in shloka 72, Acharya conveys very beautiful concept relating to this matru rupam, matru sthanam, right, of the divine breast. So in that, Acharya says, Samam Devi Skanda Dvipavadana Pitam Sthana Yugam. Sthanam are the Sthanyas, the two Sthanyas. So in this shloka, Acharya helps us to visualize the goddess as a young mother. This young mother has two divine young children. And so earlier we saw Sri Lalitambika as a Vishwajanani. In this shloka, for describing the mother, the Sthanyas, Acharya brings before our eyes a description where the goddess is a young mother, and we can see that she has two young little children. And so, as a divine young mother, what is she going to do? She is going to feed milk to the two young little children. So, that is the bhavana that Acharya brings in this shloka. And he says, Skanda, which is Lord Subramanya, and Dvipavadana, that is Lord Ganesha. So, Dvipavadana and Skanda, the two little children, are eagerly waiting to drink Sri Lalitambika's milk from her Sthanyavaram. So, Sthanya Sthanam, right? So, that is the bhavam that Acharya is conveying here. What that means is that the milk that is coming out of Sri Lalitambika here as a young mother is a very special milk. It's not the milk that we drink. It is a very special milk from her Vakshoruha that is considered as a jnana prasadam. It is considered as a prasad. It's considered as a prasadam for jnana. So her milk is jnana prasada. Ambal's milk is Jnana Amrita Shiram. That means it's the milk of knowledge. It's not the milk that we drink, but it is the milk of knowledge. So, what we need to know to get ourselves elevated to reach Shivam, that knowledge is what is bestowed from her milk. So here, very beautifully, Lord Ganesha and Lord Skanda are described as two very young kids in this young little mother who is eagerly waiting to feed her milk to both these young little kids. So the intent is that a sadhaka will instantly become a jnani with that prasadam. That is the upasana phalan of praying to the divine breast, and any saint or any person who gets Ambal's milk they instantly become a jnani. That is, we have several examples and several namas in the future also, where we are going to go through those concepts in detail. So we know, so in this shloka, Acharya says, Hey Amba, Tava idam. Taveda means Tava idam. From your Sthana Yugam, from your divine Vakshoruhas, Prashnutamukam. So these Vakshoruhams, so she has Vakshas, the two divine breasts. As soon as she sees these kids, it seems Prashnutamukam, her Vakshorgams immediately starts milking, it seems. So she immediately wants to feed the milk. Her breasts are immediately filled with this divine milk as soon as she sees these two kids. So Acharya very beautifully says, Prashnutamukam. So who are the two kids? Skanda, which is Lord Subramanya, and Dvipa Vadana, which is Ganesha. They both are ready to um, Pitam. Pitam means to drink, ready to drink eagerly. At the same time, they go and drink Shri Ambal's milk. So we know that there is no equal to Lord Ganesha and Lord Subramanya because they both have this very special privilege of drinking Devi's milk. See, we all get to drink some milk. There are some great jnanis who are blessed to get Ambal's milk. But about everybody, or these two kids are very, very special because from the time they are doing this avatara, they always get to drink Sri Lalitambika's milk. See how very special. So Lord Ganesha and Lord Subramanya are the two best, very special privileged kids because they always get to drink Devi's milk because they are the kids of Devi. So they are both worshipped by everybody because of that power of that divine milk. So here, Acharya is referencing the two kids, Lord Ganesha and Lord Subramanya, for some special reasons. So Ganesha, he says in this shloka with reference to elephants. Elephants, what they do is they have the property of drinking water from the trunk twice a day during sunrise and sunset. Similarly, a sadhaka with Brahmopadesam, that means who knows the Gayatri Mantra, who does the Sandhya Vandanam. They always use the water in the Sandhya Vandanam. They use water to do to like to suck it in, right? Like that, the elephant drinks water. Like this child is drinking this divine milk. So that divine milk and that sucking of that the action that is being brought over here, and when we drink that milk, the jnanam, right? The shiram is full of jnanam, then we get the knowledge of the self. And that is the reason why Acharya is referencing Lord Ganesha in this shloka. And then Samam Devi Skanda. Devi's Skanda, Lord Subramanya. If you see, Lord Subramanya has been drinking Devi's milk all the time as a kid. He's still drinking Lord Ambal's milk as a kid always with that Matru Bhavam. Because of that, what happened? Lord Subramanya became the guru of even his own father, Lord Shiva, and Lord Subramanya gave Pranava Upadesam to even Lord Shiva. That is, how did Lord Subramanya get that power? Because Lord Subramanya is drinking the milk from Ambal's Sthanyam. So they both got these very special powers because both the kids drank Ambal's Sthanyas milk. So in this shloka, Acharya brings before our eyes this very divine scene, and in this shloka, through this shloka, Acharya prays to Devi for all of us to remove our miseries and problems permanently. So Acharya says, Naha, 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 na kedam haratu satam. Na means our, keda means miseries and problems. Satatam, always. Haratu, remove. Please remove all the miseries and problems for all the jivas permanently. Satatam, remove the problems permanently. And by offering the prayers of your very divine Sthanyas milk is the prayer that Acharya is making to Sri Lalitambika on all of our behalf. Now, because of this very special Sthanyas and the milk that comes out of it, both Lord Ganesha and Lord Subramanya became Sarvagnyas. We see that's the power of the Sthanyas and the milk that comes from that. Sarvagnyas means they became all knowing because that's the Jnanam. Brahma Jnanam. And in addition to that, wherever we see the entire lokas worship that. Every task that we start, we first worship Lord Vigneshwara to remove all the obstacles. Everywhere in the loka, everybody worships Lord Vigneshwara. For Jnanam, everybody worships Skanda or Subramanya Swami. So they are Sarvaloka Pujakars. How did they get that state? Because of Ambal's Sthanyam. That's what is Mani Rat, Kameswara Prema Ratna Mani Prathipana Stani from her Sthanyam. They all became Sarva Shaktiman. If you see, Lord Subramanya is the army chief of all the Devatas, right? All the Devas, right? How did he get that power? By drinking this divine milk from her Sthanyam. So Lord Ganesha and Lord Subramanya attained superpowers only by drinking the prasadam of the divine milk from Sri Lalitambika's Sthanyam. So Soundarya Lahari Upasana Palan says, worship of this Parama Pavitra Sthanyam will grant us Jivan Mukti. That is this Nama Kameswara Prema Ratna Mani Prathipana Sthani. As next steps with Acharya's blessings, let's review the next Nama in Sri Lalita Sahasranama. Loka Samasta Shukino Bhavantu. Thank you so much, everyone.